What's up, my good people, and welcome back in to the Bully Ball Show on Sparks TV. I'm your host, Nino Sparks, aka the Mid Range Bully. Now, quick vid for you today. Figured I'd jump back in with another trade proposal as only I can, since my team, the home team, has still yet to make a move, and we're damn near 3 weeks into the free agency. So, we're going to break it down like a fraction to make it all make sense. But as always, before we get started, if it's your first time tapping in, or maybe you tapped in before, go ahead, tap that like, tap that subscribe, tap that notification bell, stay tapped in. Let's get the shit. Okay, so I got to thinking, what is Rob Pelinka thinking? Trying to get into his mind. Because the man's got to be an evil genius, or he's gonna look like a guy who doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And so far, you can lean into that. But I'm gonna get a man the benefit of the doubt, because he did damn near do the impossible with the Russell Westbrook trade, who it seemed like that was untradeable. It seemed like they were just gonna have to play it out. And to not only flip him, to not only flip Kendrick Nunn, who gave you nothing. Don't get me started on Miami players. But you was able to get guys that fit perfectly. And we were able to resurrect that season and take it into the next season. But it kind of reminded me of when the Lakers won the championship, and then we doubled. Instead of bringing guys back, we turned around, we tried to get better, tried to make a home run swing by bringing in guys like Montrezl Harrell and Dennis Schroeder, and then we came up short. Last season was reminiscent of that season. And now you're trying to do it again, it seems like. But let's give Rob the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he knows something we don't know. So I got to wondering, is there a player out there that he's waiting on to see, hey, let's see if this guy asks out? Because everybody's saying, okay, he's waiting to see the market soften. You know, maybe guys, they're not asking for as much for certain players. But it seems like everybody's being snatched up, with the last guy being Gary Trent Jr., who I wasn't crazy about the Lakers going to get. You didn't see him in any of my trade videos. Not a bad player, but if we was going to go get a guy like Ingram, then I would have liked Gary Trent Jr. I still think we need another big. But I got to wondering, and one player came to mind: Jimmy Buckets. Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat are at a crossroads. Some might say a standoff. Because Jimmy Butler, he won his paper. Pay me like the guy that I am, the player that I am for you guys, which is Yo LeBron, basically. In the Miami Heat, they like, we keep coming up short. So they want him to basically play it out and probably see where they stack up at the end of the season, see how that ends. And they probably gonna let him just walk or trade him. So why not just make it happen now? Because if you're the Miami Heat, you really got to think about it. Where do you, even with Jimmy Butler, a happy Jimmy Butler, let's say you do extend him, where do y'all stack up? You got the Boston Celtics, the defending champions. That would be one. Based off the moves that they made, you got to put Philly right behind them. If you're asking me, I'll put the Knicks as the second best team in the Eastern Conference. Then I would go with Philly. Why? Because we got to see Joel Embiid healthy. Joel Embiid, he don't look healthy out there with Team USA, if I'm being honest. Or maybe he's just out of shape, or he just hasn't found his role yet. But based off the moves that they made and on paper, and if everything, they got to be the third best team. Who else you got? Milwaukee, they ain't going nowhere. They got better. I just said they signed Gary Trent. That's 4 teams already. Indiana, that's 5 teams you're not better than. That's where it gets shaky, right? Because after that, you could put Miami up there. But what about Orlando? In the moves they made. Hell, they might be top 5. That's 6 teams. Are you going to be better than Cleveland? They going to get better. So now you in the play-in. You right back where you started. Now maybe if you Jimmy, hey, that's all I need. You get me there, I'll do the rest. Because like I said, if he doesn't get hurt, I don't think the Celtics win the championship. And I'm going to stick with that. But if you Miami, is that what you want? Is that what Pat Riley wants? To be in the play-in, to be the 8th best team in the East? You're going to be fighting with the Hornets and the Wizards there for the play? Come on, man. Might as well start the tanking now. Now, Miami's typically not a team that tanks. They always stay relevant. And they have one of the great coaches in the league. So them tanking, that's not really their style. But Cooper Flag. This shit different with Cooper Flag. If it was ever a guy that's worth it to tank, to try, at least try. And hey, maybe out the gate, you remain competitive. And then you shut guys down and then you start to tank. Because if you could get a Cooper Flag and pair him with a Tyler Hero and a Bam Adebayo, now you got something for the future. Now you got your guy. Now in 2 years, 2C, you could be where OKC is at, and that looks sexy. That looks attractive. Because now OKC, shit, they just one guy away. They Kevin Durant away. All KD has got to do is say, hey, he want to go there. And they win in the championship. And they going to be in the mix the next 4 seasons. You could be where they're at. Because if, as presently constructed, where are you? This is probably your last season anyway with this team. Like I just said, you're 8th best at best. I'm going to wrap my point up with the trade proposal. But I just wanted to lay out the landscape for Miami Heat and why they would want to trade a Jimmy Butler. Because even though Jimmy has a tendency to run hot, he did it with the Bulls. Eventually, they was ready to move on. He goes to Minnesota, basically torches Cat and Andrew Wiggins in practice with the 3rd team. It was like, these dudes is soft, get me up out of here. Goes to Philly, they decide, hey, we're going to roll with Tobias Harris instead. Tobias Harris over me. And now he's running hot with Miami. You're seeing it with him and Pat Riley. Just even the way he's handling the offseason. He was at the Sparks game. What'd he say during his interview? He said 22 looked real good in purple and gold. They asked him, what you getting into this offseason? He said all kinds of shit I'm not supposed to be doing. He at concerts with his shirt off. Jimmy having a good time, and he should. But it just seems like this split is inevitable, and why not make it sooner than later? And like I said, I'll wrap it up like this. The Miami Heat, let's say they do decide, okay, we're going to trade Jimmy Butler to the Los Angeles Lakers in exchange for D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, Gabe Vincent, a guy who you're familiar with who gave us nothing. Like I said, we need to stop getting Miami players. This be the only one this probably be the last one. But D'Lo, Rui, Gabe Vincent, maybe a Jackson Hayes. You can't throw Cam Reddish and Christian Wood in there as well because they can't, if I'm not mistaken, they can't stack contracts, expiring contracts. But them four plus one of those picks. Now, if I'm Miami, I want a little bit more, of course. They probably at least try to inquire about a Max Christie. You're not getting Max or Dalton or Austin Reeves, but you can have basically everybody else. And if I'm Miami, I would want that 2031 pick because who knows what the Lakers are going to look like in 2031. By that time, shit, they might be in the lotto they damn self. But those four players plus that pick in exchange for Jimmy Butler. And those four players can actually help the Miami Heat right now. Because you could put a Rui next to a Bam. He doesn't take away from what he does. You could have a backcourt of D'Lo and Tyler Hero, as long as that three is a wing defender. Who you've got guys like Jaime Jaquez. This team would probably still be at the bottom of you'd be right behind, you'd be right where you are. You'd be in the play-in, potentially. You might be even worse. But why not start it now? Because the next two drafts are deep. If you miss out on Cooper Flag, the next draft is just as deep, and you still end up with a pick. Now, maybe there are teams that would be willing to give you more for Jimmy Butler, but as right now, I don't really see that. I see the Lakers being the team that really needs a guy, and I see the Miami Heat in basically going in no man's land, kind of reminiscent of the Chicago Bulls. And you don't want to end up like the Chicago Bulls, even though I do think they just got a good draft pick. But they should have blew that thing up 2 seasons ago and got a lot more when Zach LaVine's value was high, Lonzo Ball's value was still high, DeMar, of course, was high. Hell, Vucevic, you could have got something for him 2 seasons ago. But now look where you at. And if you Miami, you don't want to wait and be bad next season and then all those guys' trade value goes down and you're stuck with guys and you're still stuck in no man's land. And if you the Lakers, this makes all the sense in the world. Because now you can go Austin Reeves, Max Christie, Jimmy Butler, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. And Jimmy Butler gives you a level of versatility that you didn't have. And Jimmy Butler is also a motherfucking closer that the Lakers have not had. Not to say LeBron can't close games or AD can't close games, but as far as being a killer, as far as going and getting them buckets, it's Jimmy Buckets all day. That's what he does. And if you Jimmy, you won't have to prioritize the regular season like you usually don't. Not to say he doesn't play hard, but he likes to pace himself as LeBron. And having them three on the same team, you'll be able to do that. You'll be able to sit an AD out certain nights because LeBron and Jimmy could win you a game. You'll be able to sit Bron because Jimmy and AD can win you a game. Hell, Jimmy can win games dolo. And he's not going to take away from what Austin Reeves does because he played with a Tyler Hero who does similar things. They got different games, but he'll fit right in. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Jimmy Butler to the Lakers in exchange for D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura. Hell, they probably want Vanderbilt, but you're not going to give up Vanderbilt. In my eyes, Vanderbilt is the third most important player on the Lakers as presently constructed. So it will be D'Lo, Rui, Gabe, and of course one of them expiring contracts, whether that be a Jackson Hayes, a Christian Wood, a Cam Reddish. Jackson Hayes probably would fit the best. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Are there better trades out there? Trae Young, is that still a possibility? I like Jimmy Butler. Out of all the names that I'm hearing, I like Jimmy Butler the most. That's a name that we're not hearing. And that's a guy who potentially he might not ask out right away, but it's coming. It's in the future. We know it. But that's all I got for free. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm going to tap back in later. Peace.